all be delivered remote, no hardware required, direct into your agent's desktops through Chrome or Firefox. We can also deliver calls out to a PBX line, a UCAS endpoint, or in fact, a mobile phone or a home line. So that means particularly for today, in today's world where you have agents that are in your office and working from home, we're able to support the infrastructure. Whatever your agents, however your agents need to connect, we can provide that same connectivity. On the left-hand side is all about the media control and the elements required for the agent. So agent status, activities, current interactions that you're working on, any queues that you're a member of, and the statistics perhaps showing you how many emails are waiting here, how many web chats or phone calls are waiting for you to handle. To the right of the screen are different applications which can be layered in for the agent to handle. Typically, as we know, that an agent will handle 3 to 5 applications. Very often you'll have copy and pasting between applications where one app, you'll have a CRM, perhaps an ERP, perhaps an accounting system, an e-commerce system, where you'll have to switch and transition as an agent from one application to another. So what we do here is we position all of those apps as tabs inside of the agent desktop. That means that you don't need to rely on the browser tabs across the top, but in fact what you do is rely purely on the agent desktop. First thing I'm going to do is just come over here to our messaging tab. This is how we integrate to web chat, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Viber, Twitter direct messages. All of those could appear as separate chats coming in. On the left-hand side here, now these queues have gone green. That means that as an agent, I can see which queues I'm working. This agent has now got a second chat icon down here. You can see that this is coming in from Facebook. And if I click this, it opens up a Facebook session. I join the chat. I can see the chat from the customer. The Facebook ID, the person we were chatted with, got pasted in, and it pulled up this information from the database in the back end, and it allowed the agent to just simply click to open up. And now what I have is a 360-degree view of this particular customer. This information can be pulled in from your CRM system or from your electronic medical records, and it's just pulled in for the purposes of displaying how many emails, how many phone calls, how many chats, how many Facebook messages, how many WhatsApp messages, and so on. And then you can also browse through those and see exactly which ones this customer has contacted us about in the past. And let's go one step further now. So we also have these things called open tasks. Now, each of these panes that you see here, these kind of tabs, are entirely customizable to suit your business need. So imagine a world where you needed to display information from the CRM system with customer demographic data. Now we also want to know the most recent orders. Those most recent order systems, they come out of your data that's coming from your e-commerce site, for example. And I also want to know exactly what the status is of the deliveries and the shipments, which is coming from your ERP environment. So we could have 3 separate pieces of displayed information here, pulled out of information coming from 3 disparate systems. Over on the right-hand side here, we have a set of configurable actions or contact reasons. And so the next time this customer then interacts with the business, the agent gets the view and says, okay, I can see that you called before about a dispute on an invoice. I can see who's handling that and know exactly what needs to happen. So let me show you a little bit about some of the reporting capabilities here. You know, we've got things like service levels, calls per hour, average talk time, average handle time, calls that were handled in service level, calls that were outside the service level, calls that were abandoned. With those interactions, we're able to capture exactly what types of contact dispositions happened. So first off, you can see on the left-hand side here, the types of interactions on the channels that they came in, how many chats, how many inbound emails, phone calls, and so on. And by the way, this is entirely configurable for you. Now, the other piece I wanted to show you was a little bit of administration and a little bit of the back end. You can see that this is what we call our visual dial plan editor. This is a combination of IVR and routing. This is a combination that also integrates to your back-end database to be able to pull in information and to be able to present that information to people that are interacting with your IVR system. Again, really simple blocks where we can specify the menu that we play in simple files. We can allow barge in, we can accept number 1, 2, and 3, and then we end up with particular queues. So we have if-then blocks. If you're familiar with logic conditions, what we're able to do using blocks like this is to evaluate service levels, the number of agents logged in, the number of agents available for a queue, the number of calls waiting, the estimated wait time, and then to be able to use those metrics for routing into a specific queue.
Let's talk just briefly about Outbound. Is there a dialer included in this? What kind of dialing capabilities does this have?
Exactly. So as you can see down on the left-hand side here, as well as the chat and the telephony that we've already talked about, there is an outbound capability. With Outbound, what we have is the ability to deliver integrated calling lists. So your CRM can update, or your ERP could update the calling list to call out, to reach out to customers. The dialing modes that we support are preview, progressive, and predicted dialing modes. So you're able to reach out to callers, to customers using one of those three different modes. We also have agent scripting. Now, interestingly, our agent scripting platform can be both used on the inbound and the outbound environment. You don't have to just link the agent script to the outbound. You can also do that on inbound as well. And then one final piece, everything on the system can be recorded. The recordings can be turned on and off based on the types of business flows that we're dealing with. And then we can also use those recordings for quality monitoring of agents, where supervisors can listen to recordings and score those recordings. And we can also do customer satisfaction surveys from within the system. So at the end of the interaction, what we're able to do is to send a link through SMS or email or through the IVR system back to the consumer, to allow the consumer then to score your interactions with your agents as well.